Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. What is up? Welcome to Iberia. I am Wolf, and today I am bringing you another devlog for Valendor. Of course, that Valendor has been in kind of a hiatus. Well, as you're gonna see, it hasn't, but the devlogs have definitely been because I was on vacation. I was doing other stuff. I was not really developing, but still, there are a lot of news that I want to show you and that I am very, very proud of. And so this is gonna be fun. So the first thing that I want to show you is, let's scroll back a bit, and there is fog of war, there is exploration. So I was looking at the last devlog, like devlog I think it's 4, this is the 5th one, and look, I had no idea how far along I had come since the last devlog, but a lot of stuff, like there's a lot of new stuff. So there is fog of war, so you see these tiles are all in the fog of war, so you know what it is, but you cannot see what's there. Like if there's a city or something like that, you're going to be able to see it, a city or a structure or whatever. So right now I can pretty much see everything that this guy has, but that is because I have this keep, which gives me a vision of 8, which is a lot, and I might reduce that, but so this is just a thing. So, and here I don't know what is there, but if the other guy had a city there, I could actually see it. Okay, that is the fog of war. So that is the first thing that I wanted to show you and talk about just a little bit, but you know, it works as you would expect from a 4X game, so there's nothing groundbreaking here. Then we have roads and bridges. Yes, there's a bridge right there. Now let me see if I can show you the other side, which is this guy. So this is the guy, it's the other side. And look, I have an army here, and I'm gonna show you, like, I will take 5 minutes to get to Kraith from this point over here, and notice that all of the roads, like all of the junctions and whatnot, they're kind of done, so you can see that it's not perfect, right? They do not match perfectly, but I think it'll do for now. I'll probably do maybe some simpler roads, like, I don't know, but this kind of looks decent for now. Of course that these hard 90-degree turns are kind of silly, but you know, it is there, and you have the bridge. Now anyway, I have an army here, so remember, 5 minutes from there. If I want to go there, this guy is gonna say no, I want to go to the road then I want to do the pass over there. But each plains tile, so each full plains tile that you walk, it's like a minute for these guys. And this guy has a mountain, this guy has some hills if I'm not mistaken, and then it's plains, and he's doing it in just 5 minutes, which is really pretty decent, right? And another cool thing, oh look, he's going through the bridge because it's faster than just crossing the river. And speaking of crossing the river, now we have embarking and disembarking mechanics, which is also awesome. So this leads me to the next part of this this devlog, which is embark and disembark. So as you can see, like, I cannot really go into water with my army, but if I wanted to go, for example, to that tile, you can see that it's moving my army to hillside, and then from hillside it is embarking and disembarking on the tile that I want to send it to. So that is quite interesting there. Now, what else do I have? I think I can show you now here. For example, I have this army in Starlag right there, and for example, I want to send him there, or I want to send him here. He's embarking from the city, and he's moving over there and disembarking there. I cannot move my armies into sea, so these are armies, so they should have a goal. However, if I move them here, and then the guys in the sea, I can select the army that is embarked and then move them wherever I want. This is a fleet, by the way, so we already have a navies here, and I have my volunteer force here. They're all called volunteer forces. This is what the game names armies and fleets, but this is going to change. I already have like a pool of army names and stuff that I'm going to add to the game, but it's just the engine is just not making a use of that database of names and stuff, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, here it is. This is a navy. So we have the transports and we have the navy. How does an army become a transport? So let's just do this. Now this army is going to start walking, and we're gonna see him in just a little while. So I'm gonna go and get my text files again, and we were going to settlement and colonies. Now you can see that there's a lot of cities. There's a lot of cities going around. So as these guys, I don't remember, like the Crimson Star Legion here, I have 1, 2, 3. I have a ton of cities. We can actually check it here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities, and you can see that they are all built up and stuff. So it's kind of cool. But there are also colonies. So it's all just cities, right? But I had to settle this city starting here. So I think that was my first colony. Or maybe this was my first colony. Like, I don't remember, okay? But it is whatever. So the rules for settlement is that you can only settle 3 tiles, up to 3 tiles away from your own territory. That's it. Unless, and this is very important, unless, let's go here to the tech tree, you have researched something with colonies. Now, it is exactly what it says. Enables establishing colonies in distant regions. So how does this work? Your first settlement in a new region, so let's say, for example, here we have Farm Bounty, and here we have the Flatland. So my first city is in the Flatland. My second city is in Farm Bounty. So if I have researched colonies or colonization, whatever, it's gonna be its own tech, all right? So I just haven't done the final tech trees. I can essentially move a settler to that region and settle my first city there. After that region already has one of my cities, then it follows the regular rule that it needs to be 3 tiles away from my territory. So that's kind of it. So that is how I did this one. That is how I did this one, because I expanded the territory, and this one. So we have quite a few cities out here, and this was me just testing that colonization kind of thing, which works just fine. It's really, really nice. So here it is. That is one cool thing: settlements and colonies. So now we're gonna go to the recruitment system, because I saw in the last devlog that it was very underdeveloped. It seems like I hadn't really done it. So here it is. So this is now the recruitment tab for your cities. It looks kind of the same, right? Except here units are divided into unit types. So here I have siege, special, infantry, medium ships, and light ships, because this is what I can recruit on this city. Here I have ranged infantry and special. I don't think I have any cavalry, simply because I found no horses yet, so it doesn't make any sense to have stable. So that is kind of it. The fact that I didn't find horses doesn't mean that there's not going to be horses. There's going to be horse resources spread about. I just, like, here is one, but I just haven't seen any. Anyhow, yeah, this is kind of it so far for the recruitment. But there is also a button to recruit, which has everything, like this is infantry, this is siege, light ships, medium ships, and then special units, and you can see everything that the units do here, and see all of their attributes. It's not perfect, right? So I'm going to do changes to these UIs and stuff, but that is going to be some polishing that's going to happen probably closer to launch. So probably after an alpha build is actually put out, right? So that is it. Now I want to talk about the battle system and the army systems here. Oh, you can see the transports. Here are my transports. They are going about, so they are now a ship, and they are going to where I want, and I can show you what I was talking about. So for example, yeah, here it's an attack. I could now send these guys over to there instead, right? So now that they're in the water, I can issue another order. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. And also you can see this. So this is essentially a transport ship that is transporting a Nax Warriors unit, for example, and you can see it all over here. So these are the units that are going to be fighting when when you get into a naval engagement here, but these guys are not supposed to be able to attack naval units, just be attacked by naval units, but let's leave it at that. So I want to talk a little bit about the battle system because I changed some stuff on my armies as well. Let me check if I have an army around. Well, I had this one. I think it's gonna cut it. So right now you see that we have a stance that I can pick. This is somewhat different from what you have seen in the last devlog, if you've seen it. And then we can configure the army. Now this looks like a control panel for something like really complex, and the combat system is somewhat complex, but it's really simple once you understand it. Now every faction is gonna have a budget of 6 slots when they start off, right? I just had some research. If we go here, I did the feared and the levies, which gave me 1 slot. Never mind the front slot because it doesn't really matter, it's just 1 slot. And then I got the militia drills, that got me another slot, and so this means that now I have a total of 8. It's still not here on the technology bonuses, right? But you can see here the base slots, base army slots available. What it's gonna be called, it's just army slots available, and it's gonna be 6, and then naval slots available as well, because I want to kind of separate that. But right now that's it. So if I go back to that interface, wait, where are you going? Go back. If I go back to this interface now, you as a player, you can essentially just change this any way you kind of want. So I think it's going to be a very, very fun mechanic here, and to just tweak your armies and decide and stuff. So here I don't really remember what I had, but this is slingers, ballista, slingers, and then just infantry. So I have a lot of infantry, a couple of slingers, and a ballista. So if I wanted to get all of these guys in combat, I would probably need to do that. So I would have 3 center here with the cavalry, and then on the flank, obviously, like, yeah, okay, the priority is cavalry, but I'm gonna want to put some infantry on it. So let's just save the configuration. For some reason, I don't think it saved it, or did it? Yeah, no, it didn't save it. I don't really know why. So I need to check this out. I promise you that it was working last night. So I don't really know. Maybe it's because it's oh, I think the server crashed, to be honest, because it's not taking in the order, but and that is why this is not really doing it. Actually, we can actually go and check it out. So let's see. No, seems like it's working fine. So I'm just gonna do a refresh, and I'm going to move on to the other session that I have up. So let's just do this. This guy, they don't have as many they don't have as many slots because I haven't done as much research. Okay, that's kind of weird. Okay, it's taking a little bit, but it's saved. So that's okay. Anyway, I really prefer the other army because it has more stuff. Yeah, there we go. So now maybe you guys can take that order. All right, so you can actually, for example, I only want 3, but I want my left flank to have that. I want my left flank to be really, really heavy, and you could do that. It's still not okay here. Well, it's just taking a little while, so I need to do some fixes there. But yeah, so now I am essentially telling the system that this army is going to deploy 3 center, is going to have 3 center slots, it's going to have 3 left flank slots and 1 right flank slot with 1 ranged slot here. I could just do that, and this way I would now have a siege engine that would be deployed. Siege is kind of good, but especially good versus, of course, castles and cities. Yeah, it's not as good like that, or when the enemy armies have defenses. So yeah, we would just probably do that. Now this can give you a massive advantage. So flanking units will get a flanking bonus if they are attacking the center, for example. So let's save the configuration here. Alright, I don't know, it's kind of slow, I don't know what's up. And you can set the placement priorities, and then you can set the targeting preferences. So the targeting always has like the same order. First it attacks, I think it's like fortifications, not all of the units, but some units attack fortifications. Then it goes for the vanguard, then it goes for the center, then it goes for the archers, then it goes for the flanks, and then it goes for the siege. And then on the flanks, units first go to the flanks, then go to the vanguard, then center, then that's kind of the thing. So here I give you the choice as the flanks. Do you want to attack the center? So if you have 3 units on the flank and you attack the center, like those units on the flanks of the center, they are going to take a beating because they're going to get hit 3 times. If the enemy only has 1 flank unit, that means that your 3 flank units are just gonna take 1 attack, and it's just one of them is going to take 1 attack. So yeah, that is a massive boost. So this is really good. So you might actually want to do this, and you could eventually just say, I don't want any center, I'm gonna put everybody on the flanks, and that would be a massive thing that you can do. Of course, that then as soon as your I don't know why this is closing by itself, but then if you don't have any more ranged units and no center, so imagine the enemy kills this unit, then the center is going to be attacking your flanks, and it should probably you should probably have a penalty here. I don't know, or maybe you should have. Yeah, I still don't really know how it's gonna go, but I would really like players to just be able to go crazy with this. And if you wanted to put everybody on the right flank, just put everybody on the right flank, and at that point the left flank is just your center, right? So I think, like, I will say you must have at least 1 center unit, and that's it. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, yeah, so these are the targeting preferences. You might say that you want your ranged units first to attack the enemy flanks or to attack the enemy center. You might want to have the same thing of the siege units. Just the center has no choice. The center attacks the center, that's it, right? So yeah, so this is it, and I hope that this combat system really helps you out, just fighting the way you want to fight. And that is it. So I have nothing else to show you for now. I want to talk a little bit about the future, and the future is that, all right, let's go back here, is that I have this. We already have battles. So we have an army here that is saying that it's in combat. We have this army that it's saying that it's in combat. Yeah, so we already have the battles here, and we already have the battlefields here, but obviously, yeah, that's it. I want to make sure that this battle system is going to start, working, and the battles are going to start happening correctly. And then I will probably push an alpha version so that the guys who have been following me on Discord, that they can join and try the game and test the game, because it is essentially like the campaign play is essentially ready. You can build, you can colonize, you can settle, you can already expand, you can build stuff on the map. For example, I have the keeps, there are castles, so this is a castle, this is a castle. Something I didn't talk about is like castles now have a zone of control, so you can essentially have control over certain areas where enemies cannot just move through. They have to attack your castle in order to move through. So there is that, but there's still no sieges. The battles are still not working. So this is what I'm working currently. I don't know if you remember, a while back I was exactly at this stage. Of course, that we didn't have the navies, we didn't have some of this stuff, we didn't have roads, we didn't have bridges, but the performance kind of sucked, and now it is a lot better. And yeah, so we are at the in a much better place right now. And yeah, so this is the way forward, and I hope to have a lot of news next week for you guys. Maybe the battle system will be working Not perfect, not okay, but working, so that I can put this out there for you guys to just start testing and start going for it, playing around with it, having fun, killing each other, and conquering each other's cities and whatnot, which, you know, kind of works. Conquering kind of works. But anyway, I am digressing right now. It's yeah, I'm digressing. Just join the Discord if you want to start playing Valendor or test this game, and I'll be with you guys right there. So if you have any questions, pop them out in the comments, pop them out on the Discord, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.